So handsome.
A few housekeeping things. The toilet is just down the corridor if you need to go out. The itinerary is going to be about an hour and a half, 2 hours of talks now. And I want to introduce the first speaker. He wanted me to introduce him as a 15-year-old high school dropout. Please welcome to the stage, Frost Noel. He's flown all the way from Canada to be with us today. Woo!
Thank you very much, Seth. Before I start the mic, can you guys all hear me like this? Yeah. Okay, then I am not going to use the mic. I don't like holding things in my hand while I talk. I'm not like using my hands when I speak. What about that? No worries. Okay. How's everyone feeling based on his intro talk?
Pretty good, mate.
Give me a good intro.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Seth. I am the 15-year-old high school dropout. My name is Frost Thorwell. Nice to meet all of you guys. I think I went and shaked everyone's hand, roughly. I don't remember anyone's names, though. So I apologize for that. I wanted to get into this right away, just with who I am, what I'm actually here for, and what I want to deliver for you guys. My goal is to at least inspire and motivate a few of you in the room by telling you guys who I actually am, what I've been through. So, though I'm a bit nervous, it's my first time giving a public talk, I'll jump into it. I was raised by a single mother of 5, the youngest of all 5. And when my life actually started was when I was 14. I was in high school. Before then, I just played video games a bunch. I have like over 5,000 hours on one single game, and I didn't do much. Didn't have many friends, didn't know many people. But high school started all for me. I made 2 friends that actually introduced me to what it was like to connect with people and be around humans for once. And what really started it was when 15, I had a house, I lived alone, I had a job, a partner at the time, and those 2 best friends. And I said, fuck it. You know what? This isn't for me. This isn't gonna work. I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to rely on other people. I want to be the family protector and provider for my family, right? So the only option I had in my mind was school wasn't going to get me there. I had to do it myself. So I made the decision. I told my mom, I remember the day, I walked up to her, I said, this is going to be my last year of high school. I'm dropping out. I'm moving to the States to start a business with a friend that I met playing video games. And I think the reason why she allowed it so well is because in that moment, I wasn't asking for her permission. I was telling her that was my decision. And she felt that as my mother, and that's why she gave me the freedom. Obviously, she loves me so much. God willing, I have such an amazing mother. To let a 15-year-old make a decision like that, go to a different country, and pursue a life like that. And so, I did. That year, told all my teachers. My boss told me I was an absolute idiot. My other boss actually encouraged me, said this is the best decision I'm ever going to make. I still remember that guy to this day. Go say hi to him all the time. Those ones stick with you, genuinely. And though my siblings also pushed against it, what I learned from making that decision is that you have to take risks. And that's where my ideology spawned. And that's where my philosophy around risk spawned, which I will talk about later on. But that was the initial risk that I've ever taken in my life, the biggest risk I could possibly take in that moment that allowed me to be who I am today, to be in front of you, speaking, to protect and provide for my family, and accomplish all the things that I've done. I'll take this gum out of my mouth. Give me 1 second. And so, I moved to America. I moved to America to start that business, and within one day, it was door-to-door sales, it was pressure washing. With one day, we booked a $700 job, and the next week, we didn't do shit. The goal was to be content creators and film our entire lives, start this business, make money, and quite frankly, we were lazy. We didn't do shit. We ran out of money very quickly, and the only thing we did for fun was we said, fuck it, you know, we have no money, we have nothing to do, let's just try to create content. So we went state to state in a hammock. We didn't have a place. We'd go state to state in a hammock and actually tell jokes to people for money and sell soda, sell water. I remember this one time we were telling a joke to somebody. It was so shit, she gave us $20 bill out of sympathy. It was such a bad joke. It was like those jokes where like, you ever seen what do you call a fish without an eyes? That was a joke. $20 to that job, that's a good hourly wage. And yeah, over 6 months, that was my life. I lived a very dirty life, to be frank. I drank a lot, did a lot of drugs, spent time with a lot of women. I was very frugal. And yeah, though those were difficult times, that set me up for my future. Though I didn't accomplish things I wanted to do there, that is the baseline, and having all those experiences just fast-tracked me to be the person I am today. Shit like that happens when you take risks. Nothing's guaranteed, and that is the core of taking risks. That's what's so beautiful about it. In life, there is no light without dark. That is the truth. You can't have hate without love. To love something, there has to be the chance of loss. My business partner, Jet in the front here, blue suit. If I didn't give a fuck about him, if it was guaranteed that he was my business partner for life, I wouldn't talk to him. I wouldn't care about him because it wouldn't matter. Oh, he's my business partner for life. Things are guaranteed. Because of the chance that he could be gone tomorrow is why I appreciate him so much, right? And everyone else in life. And so, 6 months went by. I moved back to Toronto, into my own place. I had a little bit of money. I was doing some trading. I did a bunch of shit. And that's when entrepreneurship really started for me. I started trading. I dipped into a little bit of home service, and nothing really worked. For about 2 years, I had nothing. I had this big aspiration to drop out of school, move to the States, make a bunch of money, travel the world. And coming back, I had all these people that knew me before doing like, you didn't do anything you said you were going to do. You didn't accomplish anything you said you were going to do. You didn't bring anything to fruition. And yet, I put my head down and I said, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this happen. And so I did. 2 years gone by, nothing clicking, nothing working. I'm trying absolutely everything. And then finally, I had something with passion to work on. I discovered Project Risk, something I actually came up with right before I moved to the States. And this is the core philosophy behind everything I do in entrepreneurship, all my businesses, everything I pursue. Project Risk, the idea of embracing risk rather than fearing it. And the backstory behind it is I was actually here in London 3 years ago. And I was sitting there with my sister on New Year's, and I was like, I really want to make something that could impact the world. How could I impact the world? What do I have to bring value to the world as a 16-year-old? I'm so young. I haven't had that much life experience. Though I lived a lot for a 16-year-old, what value could I actually bring? What could I be like, I've done this? And I could sit there and say, I've taken a fucking risk. Because I dropped out of school, left everything I had for a life on a chance, right? And so I said, fuck it. I'm going to start this brand, Project Risk, with the ideology of changing the connotation of risk. That was my New Year's resolution that year. And to change it to risk is a tool to live true to yourself, not something to fear. Because in this world, in today's society, to truly, truly live true to yourself, you have to take risks. Because to take risks is to be different, is to be unnormal, is to be one of one. And to achieve that, you have to be willing to put everything else on the line. And all we have as humans, as ourselves, is ourselves. We're not guaranteed anything else but our truth, who you are, so why not live it? You only have so many years on the planet, why not give it your all to be who you are? And take as many fucking risks to guarantee you a chance that you could lay on your deathbed and say, you know what? Maybe this didn't happen, maybe that didn't happen, but I took that fucking risk for myself, and I live true to myself. And it's not about being selfish. That's not the framework you should operate under. It's about being true to the mission that you've given yourself in this life, right? And so I pursued Project Risk for about 8 months with nothing coming from it, to be honest. I think I got up to like 250 followers on TikTok, 200 followers on Instagram. But like everything else in life, what that brought me was incredible value that I didn't quite see yet, right? It gave me the abilities to edit content, create ideas within my head to now have the personal brand that I do and deliver the value and the content that I do now. So a message that I want to leave on the end of this topic is everything that you learn in life will provide you value. Whether it's in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10, 20, 30, it will be valuable. You just never will know when it will come. There's so much shit that I learned in those first years of entrepreneurship, that building websites, trading, talking to people, that I thought was just completely useless to me in the moment. And yet 2 years later, I'm having a conversation and I'm like, oh, I know that. I've done that before. And I can actually provide value with that, right? So be grateful for everything you experience, everything you've ever done. And yeah. And so what really brought me into entrepreneurship, I'm sure everyone in this room is an entrepreneur, an aspiring entrepreneur. What really brought me into it was home service. I remember the summer that it started, actually the fall 2024. So only a year ago is when things actually clicked for me. A year and a half ago, when things were like, wow, I've actually accomplished something. We did $30,000 in just the first month of operating. And for once in my life, a month before that, I started my personal brand as well. Going into the new year, I said, you know what, fuck it, I gotta do this. This is the most important thing you have to do in this generation, as all of you, I'm sure, know. And I was driving Uber Eats with my brother. We used to drive in tandem because we were way too scared to drive alone and way too bored. It was just like, fuck, driving Uber is the worst thing, man. Whenever I'm in an Uber car now and I hear that ding, it's like PTSD. Ba-dum, ba-dum, new ride, £5, come on, take it. And yeah, that's actually how I bought that DJI in the back corner of the room, was driving Uber with my brother. It's $1,000, only money I had. Home service went through. I actually made money for once. After 3 years of dropping out of school, dropping everything I had, I finally made something work. Something that could actually provide for the people that I love. My ultimate goal in life, to be the protector and provider of my family. And so I said, you know what? This summer, I'm gonna go all in. This is gonna be it. This is what's gonna protect and provide for my family. This is gonna be the thing that clicks. And so summer came and we did exactly that. We built the systems behind the company to build what it is now that is still currently running. We did 300,000 in just 4.5 months. And me and Jet had a team of about 45 to 50 people within that. And actually, before I continue on the story, I want to give you a little backstory of how I met my business partner, because this is life's funny stories. I was running my own company at first, Thorough Property Services, and there's another company called BuildTech. They ran a bit of more of like a shamble business, a bit more sketchy, a bit all over the place. And we had a dinner, and we said, fuck it, you know, what if we just merge companies? Our employees know each other, they're all friends. What if we just bring it together? This is actually on the trip that I met Seth. He invited me to Marbella that like a week before. And I said, fuck it, you know what? Let's just do it. So right before we left, we crushed 4 days, jam-packed as much work as possible, outlined the entire company, launched it on my flight. The guys were going out to do crews, to do jobs the next day, did $20,000 in 4 days. So we did really well. And then our third business partner, which arguably it was our fault, we could have seen it coming, to be honest. He had a few addiction problems, a little bit of white, some women, a few issues. And he ended up taking everything we made, not paying any of the previous employees on the other side of the company, and tried killing himself, and then disappeared to Greece. So for a week, I was in Marbella, everything was going well, and then at the end of Marbella, I had nothing, again. You know, I thought I had something. The month before that, I did like $60,000. I was in a place like, you know, I can make money now, let's go, entrepreneurship, yes. Then boom, it's gone. And that's what entrepreneurship is. Though me and Jet recovered and we were able to accomplish the things that we have accomplished, that's what entrepreneurship requires. You know, we're all in this journey together. I think it's beautiful though. For me, at the beginning of the journey, I never had a room like this with 30 to 40 other people that are all in the same position as me, that are all putting the same things on the line. Though we come from different backgrounds, though we have different origin stories, we're all in pursuit of the same thing, which is living true to ourselves and accomplishing the things we wish to accomplish. Whether that's be protecting and providing for family, making a jacket, making a really cool bag, you never know. But one of the things I really wanted to touch on is what entrepreneurship actually requires from you as a person. It's not just that initial risk. It's everything beyond that as well. You can't just sit there and make the decision. You have to live all of it. Once you make a choice, you have to live it. And making choices like that come with consequences, no matter what. If you wish to succeed great things, you must suffer great things. And that's the truth. Absolutely. There is no light without dark. I always say this because in life, there has to be an equal and opposite. There cannot be an in-between. There cannot just be a right happens. When something bad happens, something good happens. And that's my belief, right? And that's something that I hold to myself. I understand to be who I am today and to be the position I am, I have to put in these hours. I have to work 86 hours a week. I have to love my laptop. I have to do the shit that makes me unhappy. I have to be willing to lose relationships. You know, a personal story of mine is, you know, the goals that I'm pursuing ultimately are for my family and for the people I love. But the reality of that is, in the beginning of pursuing what I am, I'm having to sacrifice that relationship with the people I love. Because to show up every single day, to sit at the dinner table, answer calls, and be on my laptop, it's difficult. because all I want to do is love them and be there and support them. But I have to be selfish in order to be selfless. And that's the reality of it. It's a very, very, very difficult situation. And I remember, in peak season, sitting there, my sister was visiting from Australia, and I was at the dinner table. This is very personal, but I think that's what matters. I was at the dinner table, and I was on my laptop, and then my sister bursts out and says, "Do you even want a relationship with us? Do you even care about us?" And to hear that as the man that I want to be, with my sole purpose to be for my family, from the ones that I actually work for, was heartbreaking. And what that brought to mind for me is that to achieve these things, you have to be willing to lose the same things that you're risking for. Right? To be in the position that I wish to be for my family, I have to be willing to lose them. And that's the reality. That's just how it goes. If you want to be in the in-between and, work a stable income, have something that's stable, and be there with your family as well, that's possible. For me, I have great, great, great goals, great achievements that I will not let anything stop from coming to fruition. And if that means sacrificing the very things I'm risking for, then it will happen. And I stand on that. And as a man, that's what I believe in. And so, to conclude on this topic, no matter what you pursue in life, it's going to require hard work from you. And as you all know this, I could say this 100 times, you all fucking know it. You all know waking up early, going to bed late, doing the shit you don't want to do, doing the shit that makes you uncomfortable, just because of the goal that you set for yourself. Some imaginary fairy tale, right? I just think it's so, so beautiful that we're all in a position that we're able to actually make these decisions. That you as an individual have complete and utter freedom in the choices you make in the world, in the society that we live in personally. We have that ability. We have that luck. And for you to sit there and not take advantage of it would be a disgrace to yourself and your goal and your mission. And I will be harsh because that's the words you guys need to hear, right? A lot of you guys are older than me, I assume. And I'm 19 years old, and these are my opinions. And so, entrepreneurship, though it's taken a lot from me, it's brought a lot to me. It's brought so many great things to me. My business partner, the level of protection and the ability to provide for my loved ones, after that summer, being able to, give money out when it needed to be given out. Though it's such a frugal thing, money. Who gives a fuck about that? Being able to actually do that for my family was the most beautiful thing that I could do. And I would never take back anything that I lost. My partner, my relationships, the hours, the experiences, I'd pay it all again to be in the position I'm in today. And that brings me to the ultimate point of entrepreneurship and life in general. I have this belief that there is no point in not being grateful for everything that you have gone through in your entire life. I had an abusive father, and I'm grateful for him because I love who I am today. And to be who I am today, I had to go through those things. You had to have gone through everything that you've gone through in your life to be who you are today, no matter good or bad. If you changed one thing, you'd be a different person. So if you really love yourself, and you love what you pursue, and you wake up with a smile on your face, you have to be grateful for every single moment in your life. And if you hold that within your heart, you're no longer a victim to anybody. You're no longer a victim to any one experience, and there's nothing anyone can hold against you. You have nothing but empowerment within yourself and who you are. So be grateful for everything that you've done, everything that's happened to you, and put a smile on your face that you've been blessed to have those experiences. Because I wouldn't change a fucking thing, no matter what. And so, entrepreneurship, what has it really brought me? What is all these experiences, all this tragedy, all this success, what has it provided for me as a person beyond just the money and the money, literally it. That's what we all work for, the money. What has it provided me beyond the money? When I started my personal brand, I had no clue I would be standing in this room in front of you guys. And actually, the way I met Seth was fucking hilarious. He texted me, I was in a very stressful situation, mid-company merge. The money was a bit tight because my expenses were like $15,000 a month and I was only making 20. Very tight. And he said, I remember I commented on one of his posts, correct me if I'm wrong, at any time. I commented on one of his posts, his trip. He went on a trip with Joe and Zach. And I said, next one, invite me. And he said, bet. 2 days after, Villa pops up. He texts me, yo, Villa in Marbella, book your flight. Everything else is good. I remember responding with no. And within 15 minutes, I talked to my mom. She said, you're fucking going. That's the kind of woman my mom is. I fucking love her to death. No matter what situation we're in, she says, you say you're gonna do something, it fucking happens. And I went back, I unsent the message right before he saw it. Imagine if he saw that. If he saw that, I would have never met him. He'd probably be like, okay, all good, found another person. Unsent the message, I said, fuck it, I'm coming. Tell me the dates. And so I booked the flights and I met this lovely individual, a beautiful person with, quite frankly, a very similar ideology to me, yet from a completely different origin story. Both of our brands, my hoodie on the back, it says the art of living true to yourself. Both of our brands represent one of one, being yourself. And though we came from completely different points of the world and different backgrounds and different upbringings, we came to the same conclusion. And I think that is absolutely beautiful. And to have connected with someone like that through something like this, the exact same thing, coming to a place with other people like you, is so beautiful. And I just want to congratulate everyone that showed up and is actually out there. I saw everyone, I didn't see one person out there not talking to anybody. And that's amazing. I think that's amazing. Everyone came with the intent of meeting other people like them. And I hope you go home with people that you'll actually talk to after this. You know? I know Richie and Zach met through an event like this, and now they're business partners. I'm sure they'll talk about it later. Their cute love story.
Don't spoil it.
And yeah, life has just been so beautiful outside of everything else that has to be paid, of course. It's been wonderful. And the relationships that entrepreneurship has brought me and the experiences it's brought me and the people that I've met. You know, Sash, another amazing person that's going to speak right after me. It's wonderful. And, you know, we all go through hard times. We all go through struggle. That is not a doubt. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say someone's is a bit worse than the others. We all go through struggle. We all have hard times. But as long as you stay grateful for everything that happens and you love yourself, truly, one of the biggest things that entrepreneurship has brought me is self-delusion. I am so fucking delusional. You know, 3 weeks ago, I had $73 in my bank account again. 2 weeks later, the new company that we had an idea of a year ago hit 30K this month. Now money's in the bank. Shit just fucking happens. And the reason why it happens is because I'll sit there and say, you know what? I need to go to London. I need to pay these bills. Shit needs to happen. So I'm gonna fucking make it work. I don't know how, I don't know when, but it's definitely not a matter of if. Definitely not. That's out of question. And so here I am. I'm here. I made it happen. And everyone has that ability. And what it comes from is, it stems from loving yourself, self-confidence, and being really fucking delusional. This guy's delusional. Very delusional. Very delusional. It's not delusion if it happens. Watch the quotes. I'm speaking here. Yeah. Life, no, I'm super grateful. And honestly, my biggest takeaway from everything is that risks have to be taken. And that is my number one message. That is my number one goal. To what I'm going to cut to is, like we said, we all have to pay a price for something. When you show the world that you're willing to risk the exact opposite of what you want, it will give you the opportunities to achieve those things. The universe will align in a way for you to actually bring those to fruition when you show that you're willing to give it up. You're willing to put in the work. If you sit there in your bed and you wake up every single day, you say, I'm not going to be able to do this. I'm not going to be able to achieve this. What do you think is going to come from that? It's the same people that wake up every single day and look in the mirror and say, I'm sad. I'm depressed. You think that's going to help your situation? No. If you woke up every single day, said, I'm grateful for everything that's happened to me, I love myself, and I'm going to achieve these goals, that increases your odds, whether you believe it or not, every single fucking time, right? You have to take risks, and my goal is to truly change the connotation of it. My New Year's resolution from 3 years ago, to change it to risk is a tool to live true to yourself. Let me think. Is that everything I have to say? I think so. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Might have been shorter than expected. What?
Message to your younger self.
A message to my younger self. Lock the fuck in, bruv. Get the work done, take the risks, love yourself, and be fucking grateful. Just be fucking grateful. Stop victimizing yourself. Stop being a wimp. Stop being a pussy. Wake up. Be grateful for everything that has ever happened to you in your entire life. I don't care what has happened to you. Be grateful, because there is no reason, there is no benefit to not be grateful for those things. That is what you should take away. Yes, take risks. Be fucking grateful for taking risks when it goes wrong. I had horrible, horrible years after taking that risk and having nothing. I had to look my mother in the face every single day saying, I'm going to be the protector and provider of this family. And yet I had nothing to show for it for 2.5 years. And even when I did, I had the ability to lose everything. I had to tell her, no, I don't have money this month. I can't pay that. I can't pay this bill when I said I could last month. And that's the reality, right? So thank you very much, guys. Give me one more round of applause, and I'll take this step off. Well, thank you. All right.